Hola, hello. Come on in. Come on in. We are today, I am so excited for this brand new series that I have been working on, and it's called Blessed Not Stressed. This is motherhood. And what I'm going to do is every Sunday, together we will be exploring topics that are important to you in your parenting journey. We will be having guests join us to share their knowledge, and together we will be learning, growing, knowing, or in our knowledge. Because you know what? This path of parenting is hard and stressful, and we can come together in this journey. We can create this network where we see the positives more than the negatives, where we learn and acknowledge our mistakes, and we learn to look for the blessings, the good in every single day. And today's topic, what I'm going to be doing, is talking about children with huge emotions and those even with anxieties. So if you're catching the replay, I would love for you to comment, say hello, and then hashtag replay if you're joining us to watch. This is a little bit later than I usually want to start, and we will hash that out in the next few weeks. I will get much better at this. So anyways, if you're watching, comment hello. If you're seeing the preview, hashtag replay. So today, if you hop over to our blog, you will see that we actually, well, I'm trying to get it up. It's just not quite working. It's on our blog post. It doesn't have its own individual page at the moment. Our very first Blessed Not Stressed, this is motherhood, is about children with huge emotions, and especially those with anxiety. And so here's the truth. On a recent study, and I have it linked, self-control actually develops between 3.5 and 4 years of age, and it can even take more years to be used consistently. So we're even looking into past the preschoolhood, into the kindergarten, early years, grade 1, grade 2, for those skills to be learned. Sharing skills kind of develop between 3 and 4 years, and the emotional control develops between 3.5 and 4. Matthew Meldon, who's the executive director of 0 to 3, is an internationally recognized expert on and advocates for the health and development of infants, has some words for those parents that are struggling with their young kids. And it is the early years are about teaching, not punishing. When parents have realistic expectations about their children's capacities, they can guide behavior in a sensitive and effective way. If you are watching, say hi, hashtag replay. So what is this really saying is that we can use the work of Dr. Dan Siegel, and he has phenomenal research from UCLA, and this is actually used right across the globe with understanding parenting in terms of the brain component and the flipped lid. And you know what? It's hard not to get stressed with a toddler or a preschool and a kindergartner who are pushing these buttons. When there is lots of whining and screaming and tantrums and children not listening. Give me a 1 if that sounds familiar. Familiar in your house. So it is. There's my number 1. It is very common in our house, or was common in our house, and is based on child development, which is very frustrating. And I really feel the stress and frustration with our oldest, who's now 6, and he is a high-spirited, he has intense emotions, and he's fueled by this anxiety and an incredible amount of energy every single day of his life, which is fine. That's who he is. And we have been working with and promoting emotional regulation and impulse control for the better part of a year. And we've been using many of the positive discipline tools that are related to children learning about their emotions, identifying their emotions, feeling parts of their body, finding ways to bring back down that flipped lid, which is from Dr. Dan Siegel's research. So we've actually been using the Wheel of Choice Starter Kit. I don't have the kit with me to show right now. However, I have some of our past examples of a Wheel of Choice. Okay. So the wheel of choice is here. This one is when they're younger, and you can give 2 choices. You can make something online, or I'll show you our real life examples. Okay. 3 options, like a peace sign, or we have 4. Okay. Now, what this is for children to help find tools to help regulate. It might be a problem-solving wheel, a wheel of choice, of anger, frustration. So here is actually one of our ones. I bring it to classes. It's nice and ripped and tattered. Okay, so when Elijah was starting to feel those intense emotions, we would do things such as fix a race car in his bedroom. Ooh, I'm going this way. We could color, count to 10. And what's really important is that a child knows how to count to 10 at least 3 different ways, or to breathe out, breathe in, about 3 different ways, so they have choices. Look at pictures, puzzles, dance to music, go outside. Okay, those were some of his choices. And we would practice these when he was calm. For our 2-year-olds, we would do something more with 2 choices, something that they really like. Okay, so that is our wheel of choice. And another tool that we have used in the past is the positive timeouts. It's also called time ins. This is a very large topic that we do go into quite a bit, and the opportunity is actually to get the child to calm down, come back into their prefrontal cortex, so they're not operating in their midbrains before they have to go correct the situation, because we do always correct going afterwards. Okay, here's a great book that we did read. And it's in both of our kids' bedrooms, Jared's Cool Out Space. This just helps children identify those emotions, especially the children that are very anxious. Children with anxiety do need to find ways of self-coping, self-regulation, and a lot of that is into the brain sciences. So let us see what else. Lastly, we've been working on that body awareness. This is really key for those huge emotions and into the children with anxiety. So we've been getting down on the level. Squatting down is a really good way. I hold out my arms if he wants, or not even just a lot, Mr. E, but Miss K too. I hold out my hands so they can come and touch for that grounding, that regulation. Looking into their eyes, or sometimes even getting lower than the eye level. And we calmly talk about what we see that's happening, such as maybe we're identifying clenched fists or a rapid breathing. How many of our kids go with flushed faces? And then we validate the feelings. Wow, you look so frustrated, irritated, and looking into those other emotions. And this has really been paying off for the past 8 months. Oftentimes he has come to me and he will tell me that his jaw is intense, or his fists are clenched, or he will say something like, my face was getting red up to here, and then I did some deep breathing and now it's only red up to here. Or help me regulate my emotions, and asks for a hug. And you know what? I get it. I'm a mom. 3 little ones. I don't actually, the days are really long. I started back teaching when Mr. G was 3.5 weeks. Didn't get to have some naps that I dearly needed. And then I also have adrenal fatigue. And then I started to doubt myself and thinking, oh, science. I tell you about you. And then, or I was thinking about, you know what, maybe this positive discipline, I don't know, why can't I just do an iron fist? And we stuck it out, and we worked on his emotions. So this is the part that is really cool, is that we were out for his birthday breakfast, and he just turned 6, so this was yesterday actually. And we bought some birthday balloons and walked them out. And he excitedly came out of the local diner we were at, and one of his balloons actually became undone and floated away, floated into the air, and I looked at his face. And I waited for him to show some emotions. And I waited and I waited. And you know what? It was really interesting. So we waited, and Elijah looked at us and he says, huh, I hope another kid finds it and loves it as much as me. I'm a little sad. Wow, this is such a victory after working so hard for the child who has anxiety and experiences these intense emotions. So I wanted to share that today with our first Blessed Not Stressed. This is motherhood. We all experience these times of stress, emotional stress, children who flip their lids and fly off into tantrums. And we're here rooting for you. And I gave you about 3 different tools that you can use to help to calm down, to connect, to bring back down that flip lid, as well as some links. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next Sunday.